This is eCoffee with Experts, where marketers and founders share what's actually working in SEO, AI, and digital growth. Grab your coffee and fuel your mind as we chat with top minds about their wins, struggles, and lessons you won't find in a blog post. Brought to you by Digital Web Solutions, we bring real talk to help you grow your business, one episode at a time. Let's get started.
Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to your show, Coffee with Experts. This is your host, Ranmay here. And today we have Peter Singh-Vigilante, who is the president of Vigilante Marketing with us. Hey, Peter, how's it going?
It's going excellent. Thank you so much for having me on.
Lovely. It's a pleasure. Before we move any forward, why don't you talk us through your journey a bit, how it all started? How did you land up in the digital marketing space? And also a bit about your agency. What do you guys do? What are your core offerings? And we'll take it off from there.
Yeah. Actually, I've always been a web developer originally, not even by trade. Actually, I was a graphic design, but in visual effects for film and 3D animation, which gave me my design backgrounds, and then was just always coding and learning how to code in the early days, and then started to be asked to help people with building a site, and then started getting asked to then do more of the technical stuff for even marketing. So can someone connect my Google Analytics? Can someone do my tag? Like all those complicated things that it seemed that no one in digital marketing was learning to do any of the complicated things. They always asked their developers. So gained all the skills and learned all of the ropes from the ground up and all even the technical details, and start companies from that. I worked at a few other agencies at first just to get to know how the agency model worked, how those companies were run, before starting our own, where it came directly from a developer standpoint first versus a business standpoint. So was not a businessman at all. So I had to learn the ropes, learn that from the ground up, had business partners to help out there. But it allowed us to be very transparent and honest with our clients right from the ground up, saying, here is the developer that knows what he's talking about, how everything works. Also taught it for many years at the private schools and colleges out in BC here. And then, only about 5 years ago started Vigilante Marketing after leaving the other agencies and partnerships.
Lovely. Quite a journey, I must say. You have seen enough summers and winters in the digital marketing space, Peter. Apart from the AI evolution, let's talk about life before that in the SEO landscape. What was that one major Google update which you felt was a significant one which had the most impact as per your experience?
I guess before the AI one, most of the updates weren't too bad. The Penguin update definitely changed a lot, especially with backlinking, quality of SEO. So that was a huge change in SEO for us. But I think the more recent ones are still even more impactful because of how they change where content is ranked.
Yeah.
The concept of content is king is kind of a weird one to explain now. Everyone used to take that as more content is what you need. I want more blog posts. I need more keyword. Now that completely flipped its head. So that still has to be the biggest change and update for us in the SEO world.
And like you said, when starting out, you did not really have a business mindset as the founder, right? So how was like early on? Because as a founder, as a business owner, initially you wear multiple hats. I mean, you're looking at payroll, you're looking at sales, you're delivering, you're project managing, you're hiring, you're recruiting, you're building the team up, doing the books. So how challenging was it? And how did the initial few clients that came on board were handled?
So actually, we take it in. I took it in just little steps at a time. So it wasn't too hard. It's actually much harder now that we are a bigger team and we have everyone managing, doing their things. But initially it starts with just me and then one other person, a designer maybe. And then I have many friends and clients that follow me or love the work that I do. So they came on. I just did their site maintenance, built a new site, and there we go, first client. Then you start getting a few more and they ask for more services. They want to do more PPC ads. I know how to do them, but it's a bit much. So then hire my next person to help out with PPC, SEO, marketing. So doing all of it. And that's what I liked about anyone that I hire. They must be very well-rounded. And then by starting with people that were very experienced in many, many aspects and well-rounded, and I myself have been able to train and work with them on it. I made sure that I never assign or have anyone do anything that I couldn't do myself and I wouldn't do myself. That way, I'm not asking them to do something that is outlandish or crazy. Especially from a developer standpoint, we just get told, make this software for in a very small budget and just build this massive thing. I want the next Facebook. Can you do it? Kind of thing. We know our limitations. So I always want to understand that. So once I hire that one person that can do all the things, then we start getting more clients and then they get overwhelmed. Now we can hire one person that can take over one of their tasks. So that was the real way to keep things progressing and learning from things as we go and not jumping too far into the deep end.
And what is the biggest misconception you see in how agencies or clients are treating AI as a silver bullet, and how do you kind of ensure your processes are in place on that front?
Yeah, it's a very double-edged sword. We want to make sure that our clients are aware that yes, we are using AI because you have to use AI. Any business that is not is kidding themselves. They must, but we also have to train them and show them the limitations of it. So we have not found success in AI image generation, for instance, and AI posting of social media because the quality our clients are looking for, it doesn't quite produce as of yet. Same of content. Content has been very tricky, very hard, because one of the misconceptions is that AI can do all those things by itself. Whereas what we try and push is AI is at least a tool. So the way I explain it is AI is the misconception is AI is not an idea engine or a strategy engine. It's not doing that for us. It is a great execution multiplier and pattern recognition engine, meaning it still takes a human to come up with an initial strategy, to come up with initial post ideas, to come up with initial keywords. And then we use our AI tools to then multiply that. Now I can take the 5 keywords I came up with and turn it into 100 keywords. Take the content that I am creating and writing and just ask it to add to it, do a little bit of extra research on it, anything like that, using it as that tool for multiplying our efficiencies and not replacing our efficiencies.
And how about it? What was the initial take when all of this chat GPT and the AI storm that kicked in, and people were not very secure about their jobs, especially content guys, how was the feel at your agency level amongst your team?
So yeah, last year when it was really starting to ramp up after the chat GPT initially launched, that was crazy, but didn't really affect us too much at that point. But then when Google and it started to come out with Microsoft, that's when it started to get a bit more worrisome. And then everyone's starting to get laid off, where you hear all the big businesses laying off everyone because they're replacing with AI. I held my ground that because I tested and I worked with it. It's again, a lot of these people were giving knee jerk reactions to AI that it was already so good at it can do everything. We're the developers actually testing it and actually seeing, I think this is a joke right now. It's not quite what people think. And we were even using it for coding and we found it did some really bad stuff to the code. We've had many incidents of it just wiped a database and,
Yeah.
unprompted. But yeah, that's where we just kept our heads cool, kept on testing the tools. And we went through quite a few different tools. One word advice, do not get into any software or AI software that gets you into some 2-year contract or 3-year contract
Oh, yes.
because it's moving so fast that the month after you sign that contract, there's going to be a better software that probably is just doing it for free, or Gemini is just going to build it in. We found that quite a bit of that when Gemini was starting to improve and improve, all of a sudden it just made every other piece of AI obsolete. It's moving far too fast for any company to lock you in. And then you're going to be left behind if that company's not moving fast enough with their tools as well.
hmm And with all the AI overviews and, kind of search being reshape now, and generative search summary agents emerging, how are you shaping your core your content plus SEO strategy to ensure the clients gets referenced rather than overwritten by AI summaries now?
Actually, it was a funny little way that we did this. We actually just asked the AI, "What did you need to rank my site on you?" Kind of thing. Like literally just write to it, and it gave kind of a breakdown of what it needs and how its own engine works. It's quite honest with it. So From there, we still just found that there isn't really a specific AI SEO strategy because AI is still using Google's ranking. It's still using other search engines to figure out how to rank people that we found. Not to
Mhm.
say that there isn't a strategy at all, but it is very close. So you still want to stick to your standard SEOs. But the biggest change in strategy was information. Is if we could answer all the questions, just like you would in Google, but not just with keywords, create a knowledge base on your sites. And that's been our new mandate with a lot of our clients is can we make a bigger knowledge base, more FAQs, more questions answered? Because the direction that we're going in is that your people are no longer going to be navigating websites, I think, in the future. They're going to be coming to your website and then in looking for a little chatbot in hopes that it will answer the question. So the new strategy is yes, content is king, more and more content, but it must be very well structured. It must answer questions, not just be keyword riddled and never duplicating itself. Because what you are doing with your sites now is if you are allowing AI to train itself on your site or building your own little AI, you need to give it training data. And that training data must be everything about your company, all the details of what you do so that A, someone could find it, and B, someone could just ask their little AI chatbot to answer who is this company, what do they do, what do they offer.
And from a
So
SEO
transparency.
standpoint, Peter, we have always been listening to this that the SEO is dead. And then we heard about, backlinks not working anymore. So how do you rethink, backlink strategy or authority building so your content
Mhm.
remains as a reference point and you get those link mentions, brand mentions for AI summarization and help you rank on different AI or LLMs out there?
Mhm. Yeah, I'd say, but to the first comment is, yeah, that a lot of, I guess, random articles and fear mongering of SEO being dead. Completely the opposite in SEO. Like AI is still just using SEO. You would still apply that. When it comes to backlinks, yeah, that was just more updates from Google and have nothing to do with really AI in terms of Google just trying to basically stop any time that SEO companies, even like ourselves and yourself, from gaming the system. That's really all every update is when things get so oversaturated, then they make a pivot. Just like when people were content was king and they just added more and more content that was useless to users. So when it comes to the backlink thing, our strategy is still as it always was. White hat linking, but looking for high quality links. In fact, we spend more time removing links when we run our reports and see a spam score on them. It's more removal than anything.
Yeah.
But where we changed a lot of our strategy, it wasn't just to get random links on random sites, it was to partner and get content on other websites. This is more of what we find the AIs also utilize more is if the AI doesn't really care about the linking, it cares about the content that it is learning from. It's learning from text content. So I needed to learn from my text content and other text content that I'm the best in the industry or this client's is the best restaurant, the best food. I needed to learn that from all the data that it's pulling. So that's where link building is less and less strength, and it's still back to content and mentioning your site elsewhere on the internet from wherever AI is learning.
Yeah, having those trust sources pointing towards you, right? And
Mhm.
prompt-based optimization, Peter, is replacing keywords faster than most actually realize now. So, what skills will define a modern marketer in a world where prompts, outperform copy?
Mhm. I guess that comes back to the main point. You are needing to, I guess you want to create more data structures. So I think what's modern SEOers need to learn is how to really create what we call content clusters. So
Mhm.
organizing all your content, putting it into table of contents, making it very easy to navigate, easy to link to, not just for humans, but yeah, for bots.
Flawless, yeah.
Uh, yeah, doing any kind of say we I'm trying to think of this what we're doing with ours. We're trying to create content that is very specific to a user's question. And then that's been very helpful because we're basically trying to put the prompt right into our content. So if someone is asking like, what is your process for building a website? I'm going to make an article that tells our clients exactly that process because I know that that's a prompt that they have been looking for. Getting rid of any kind of, we need to be transparent with our content because if someone is going to ask AI something and you are a gatekeeper of that, then you're just not going to show up. So things like we early on we put our pricing right on our website because we just knew we would get more clients that way. But now that also help prompt engineering when people are asking how much does a website cost. Our site is one of the very few that come up for it because a majority of other agencies do not share their pricing on their site. Now I'm starting to see that pivot and shift because they noticed as well that they are not getting the same prompts from people who are not getting the information because they are being cagey about it. So yeah, don't guard all of your brand voice and all those things. You want to make sure that it's very transparent and on your site. And yeah, that has helped us even show up more when people are prompting AI for the best agencies in Kelowna or BC, like we were coming up.
Right, right. And 2025 was, madness with all the AI evolution and
Mhm,
all the platforms, tools kind of mushrooming around AI.
mhm.
But overall, from a marketing landscape perspective, how do you think, what is your bet for 2026?
I was mentioning it before. My bet is that all websites will just be knowledge bases and
Mhm.
for content, and your users will be interacting with your websites via a little chatbot in the corner. So the chatbots that we're seeing now are just the start. I think they will be the full answer engines for navigating, getting all information about your services. They will be your sales person, not just a sales tool, because they
Mhm.
will be trained on your brand's persona. So when you're creating a persona for your brand, that's what's going into your AI. Yeah, that is what I see in the future. Less complicated websites, but far more content and structure to them.
Lovely, lovely, Peter. And, quite clearly, you are a seasoned professional in this space. So, for our young listeners today who are trying to make a mark or get started on their entrepreneurship journey or digital marketing journey, any advices for them that you have learned along the way?
Coming from the technicals and where I grew into this industry was just learning everything about it and being as self-taught with it. You need to be able to read the documentation. What I find with a lot of marketers coming out of school from a marketing program is they never actually touch, say, Google Analytics. They learn about reading data, they learn about statistics, but they don't actually learn how do I get those statistics? What is the nitty gritty? It's always ask your developer. It's not that complicated when you can start getting into it yourself, and those will be the most valuable skills. Right now, the job market is very, very hard to get into with people assuming AI is going to solve everything with an oversaturation of jobs. And I know if I put a job posting on Indeed, I get 10,000 listings from asking for local, but they're all overseas and I ignore it. So I stop even putting out resumes. I want to meet someone and I want them to show me that they know what they're talking about. Said when I was first hiring, I wanted a well rounded marketer that knew SEO, PPC, and how to do all the social media, how to actually go into the accounts. One of my tests is see if you can add a user to someone's Facebook page. That is very hard right now with how complicated Facebook's backend is. And if you can't debug and you can't figure these things out and be a problem solver, then you're going to have no chance anywhere else. We can't be uh, as a single skilled. It has to be very multifaceted, especially if we're competing with the AI. So keep up with them, keep learning what they are capable of, what they can do, but also make sure you know how to do it yourself, know the vanilla, because you never know what happens when the AIs all of a sudden stop working or stop answering certain questions. Then are you still going to be able to do these things for your clients yourself? They are going to look for the veterans. They're going to look for the ones that learned from scratch, that knew how to code vanilla, knew how to connect your Google tag, your analytics, knew how to operate the back end of Facebook, set up a Facebook login app, any of those kind of things. It's get a project that has a lot of those complexities and just learn it yourself.
Perfect. Perfect, Peter. Thank you so much for the insightful conversation. This has been a great one. For our audience, if they want to reach out to you, how would they do that?
They can reach out to me through our website at vigilante.marketing, and even my direct emails are on the site there. I'm Peter at vigilante.marketing.
Lovely. Thank you, Peter. Thanks for your time. Cheers.
Thank you so much for that.